Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and other peeps from the cult, I welcome you to the Amateur League Tournament, weekly tournament 151, and it's taking place on 22nd of February of 2026. We have unseen sight in our faces. We have mirror matchup, which is unseen, I believe, which I have not casted for the heck of the time. And we are looking at round 1 game, which is best of 1 in losers bracket, for the reasons I will tell later on. We are looking at the main base of Checo. I don't remember what was it was Master Killers or something like that. I'm afraid to screw up the clan tag, but the clan tag is there, and they're wonderful people. And there is Micromaniacs Reevou on the opposite side on the red colors playing Terran. It's Terran versus Terran, imagine. Blue side here on top right and red side here on bottom left side. Well, I was about to cast another mirror matchup, which would be ZVZ, and it would be round 2 of the tournament on the upper brackets. It would be best of 3, it would be fun, but eventually whoever wins is going to play against me, and I don't want to see their strategies. And well, maybe one of them is not against it, the other one was. I respect people, their freedom in this way. Like they can, I am always asking politely and then figuring out if they want to or not want to. I just don't assume and just squeeze myself onto. So yeah, these guys obviously are not afraid from me to cast them. So, and I have free time right now, so let's go. I'm waiting for my game, my opponent, and there's actually quite a bit of scouting happening here from Reevou. I guess he's expecting that there's going to be some proxy being built. Well, actually on the other side there is actually Reaper into factory, into a reactor for the barracks, so I believe that it might be just the Reaper Hellion, quite standard thing, which even I know how to play. Imagine I have won a game like this. But anyways, yeah, both of them are having barracks into factory. Reevou starts command center for the natural. Well, looks like the SCV production here is continuing from Checo's side, and so it is from the Reevou. Actually, yeah, the Checo, I believe he's from Mexico, and he was in Platinum League, but he has ranked up his games and his plays, and he's moved a little bit up. He's starting the natural actually on the site. Meanwhile, Reevou, we have played against him, we recognize him. He's from Finland, and he has been in the Veterans League for quite a bit. Yeah, this is Veterans League. This is Diamond 3 to Diamond 2. So it's a little bit level up seas. Yeah, the both are actually going for starport. The Reevou is going for siege tank. The unit amount here is double Reaper versus Hellion Reaper. Usually it's a different combination. There is two more Reapers and Hellion joining in the army over here, which could be scary, but the siege tank sieged might be pain here with the vision of the bottom ground, which is basically denying these units to come even close, except if they try to dodge and do some stuff over here. But there's nothing to do here because the orbital is being made into the main base and nothing else is happening. Next to the starport we have reactor here for Checo. He's actually transitioning to bio, so he's pumping marines and getting siege tanks out coming from his production buildings. Meanwhile, Reevou has built a tech lab, is going for disruptive matrix or something. Oh, there is a drop. Hellions and Reapers are dropped into the mineral lane of Reevou. The reaction was kind of slow. It's 5 SCVs going down, and I believe two of the mules might be also the victims. The marines are called back. I believe the attack has been halted and the medevac has been gone down. The trade is kind of in favor of Reevou, but he actually lost 5 ICVs. So even though he was actually over saturating his main base, still he lost some bit of workers, and they are actually now on vehicle worker count. The losses, I don't think, wasn't that big. The disruption matrix has been researched, the Raven is out, and actually Reevou is exchanging the starport for reactor to get medivacs. Probably that is the plan. Meanwhile, he's building 2 more barracks to get more army. So these guys are suiting up for a bit more units than before. There is siege tank already here. There is 1 more siege tank loaded into the medivac, and looks like that's gonna be another flank push for Checo. Reevou actually has a cyclone this time ready. Basically, if it is lock on and it spots it here, then if it's not timely drop, then I think the medivac is actually gonna go down with a lock on really fast. So that's a really good defense from possibility of getting the drop from the same direction another time by Reevou. He could have actually, well, the Checo could have like changed the ways, you know, but that is certain amount or level of play is required, or the skill, or whatchamacallit, practice, that such were the ways. Well, the cyclone kinda missed actually the medivac coming in, and siege tank has been sieged, and it's sieging away. 2 SCVs, 3 SCVs have gone down. That will be 5 now. The siege tank is keeping the work on some production buildings. There comes the siege tank from defensive side. Matrix is not shown yet, but the Raven is shown. There is a Viking which is going to try to hunt down the medivac. Meanwhile, on this side, Checo is going for the base number 3, and he's going for +1 weapons and obviously a stim. Didn't see if the Reevou actually researched those. No, he has tech lab on the barracks, so basically he can do that. Now he's resaturating his main, getting his workers in order. The Viking was hiding the medivac, but there comes another medivac with 8 marines inside them, and those are going to scare the Viking away. Meanwhile, Reevou actually has finished his own 3rd orbital command. He has landed it here, which is sort of triangular position, and Checo has not finished his yet. The worker amount is about equal. The army supply here is in favor of Checo. He has a couple of siege tanks, actually 4 siege tanks if we count these 2, which are on defensive. And yeah, he kind of showed the drop that it might be coming again from this direction. That's why Reevou has the marines over here, but actually he should have like part and part over here for that. But Checo might be smart, and he might choose to go to this path and try to leapfrog his units forward. Reevou starts +1, he starts stim research, which is actually late because his opponent is already done with those upgrades, and he's going for medipacks for the marines. And yeah, looks like Checo is gonna do some stuff. Yeah, he comes, but he doesn't come the bottom side as I kind of foretold that he should. He actually is sieging up here, and he is going to threaten the 3rd. Once again, the responsive force was in the main base, so the 3rd is in danger, and it's stimmed and it's killed. Stimmed and wind, as God player, the man, the myth, the legend gamer Richie is saying, and the 3rd base has been lost by Reevou here. So that is something. There's a lot of marines, so siege tank can do a lot of damage. There is actually 1 siege tank over here, and yeah, unfortunately that siege up and scan was kind of an extra move that did cost a lot. Moving the marines away might not have been the smartest thing, but who knows. This siege tank actually got the kill there. There is 1 more scan. Pretty much the information that there is marines. They don't have the stim, they don't have the +1, so Checo actually should be abusing the fact. Oh, he has landed his third. He actually gets Medivac full of Marines, and he's gonna try to drop the siege tank, but the Vikings and Marines were on the case, and now the Viking count is growing on both sides, although Checo is building 2 Liberators, while there is double Viking coming out from Reevou's side. There is no third still. The Raven is here, but the Viking is showing off. There is 3 Vikings over here, 3 over here. They are lower HP, so the trades are in favor of this. So basically, in these kind of situations, whoever gets the air superiority is winner. For some reason, the Marines are here. I don't know why he sent the army away. So basically, now Reevou can send his Vikings for sure, and he can just kill off all the Medivacs and get rid of all the air units, which are not obviously sitting next to Marines, and maybe even bait his Marines into his own siege tank line, fire line, which is awesome. There are 2 Liberators being built here from the Reevou, and Checo has his own 2 Liberators, I think, at the home. Yeah, there is a lot of flying, there's a lot of units here. There is an F2 key which has to be pressed for some reason just to move all the units over here. Looks like Checo is like spreading his Marines just to see what happens. The Matrix has been used by the Raven, and both siege tanks are going to go down, so little 2 base contain has been denied, and the SCVs are coming over here to mine, and the 3rd base is almost finished again. And there's +2, +1 being researched, +1 vehicle weapons from the Reevou. The Checo is not actually pushing upgrades, he's pushing army, although his army supply is lower than Reevou's. And which means that in the long shot, well, he's building 4th base. That might be the economical advantage, which he doesn't have because he has less workers than the Reevou, than his opponent. And the upgrades, well, now it's anti-timing to move out into this very good secured position. Showing off Vikings might be a thing, but there is a lot more on the opposite side. So these Vikings should be actually just going and trying to hunt down whatever units they can, starting with that Raven, and there it goes. And there's a couple more Vikings over here, but those shouldn't be the problem. And there's 3 upgrades finishing pretty much for the Reevou right now. The Medivacs are empty, no fuel, so any steam can be very costly. And there is more Liberators joining in the army, ready to hunt down. That Marine was individually steamed out of the liberation zone. The 4th base has been finished. Yeah, there is also a 4th base finished for Reevou, so he can actually move his stuff on the place. And there is +2 armor started for the bio units, so that makes the army a lot more dangerous. There's actually air weapons being researched right now, which is interesting. Could it be the transition into something, or it's just because there will be more Vikings pumped out? And here comes the Reevou. That's a really good place to attack. The Vikings alone, unfortunately, will not be able to do anything. He's too much dependent on siege tanks, sending Liberators into the death, and also the Marines into death zone. Yeah, he has the army, he has the numbers, much more, not much more, but a little bit more than his opponent right now. I don't know if Reevou is not actually checking. Oh, there's a planetary, so maybe he doesn't want to, or he doesn't know about it. He doesn't know about the 4th base here. That indeed is the case. So the Marines, oh, there is the Liberator clearing off the siege tank. The Marines are going, steaming into much more Marines, and yeah, that's all army pretty much lost. It's just that 1 or 2 upgrade advantage, no? Yeah, it's 2 upgrade advantage, and the numbers are bigger here for the Reevou. He has his 4th baseline and saturated. Double factory is being made right now. It's +2 vehicle weapons being researched, which might mean that he might go for some weird kind of mech transition, question mark. There's a lot of siege tank here from Checo. So technically either you have a lot of ravens to disable them and you move on. Oh, Reevou actually is making his 5th and he's landing it. There is no 5th here from the Checo side, no? Yeah, nothing. And he is going for some upgrades. He's going for the +1 armor, +2 weapons for his bio force. While actually he has a lot of siege tanks. He has like 14 siege tanks, 3 Vikings, 4 Vikings. More Vikings are joining in to the army to get rid of air units, but this marine force is what you need to get rid of. Yeah, Reevou needs some medivacs into the party. Checo is sending some marines to scout what kind of situation is here. He sees planetary morphing, he sees some some SCVs mining. He can actually do some damage over here. And he finally decides to do so. He lands the Viking even. And there comes the aggression, but the planetary is finished and that will get rid of the army. Meanwhile, Reevou goes for attack. Finds out the siege tanks. So 5 siege tanks of his own, and he actually sees the actual gas coming here. He steams on these siege tanks over here. The Vikings are here. There's liberation zones. Checo actually is going for fusion core right now. Is that to increase the liberation zones or just go transition for BCs? Don't know. He actually researched +1 air weapons, so that could be something. But there's a lot of marines over here. Well, there are no medivacs pretty much. There's only siege tanks, so maybe, yeah, the liberation zone increase upgrade would be something. Well, there are no medivacs here for Reevou, and he's not planning to get one. He's going 3-3 right now and +1 air weapons himself. He's actually going to jump the planetary with overstimmed marines, and all the army pretty much starting with Vikings is going to try to jump the siege tank force over here. Liberator comes in first, and Liberator is doing the job, but the marines are clearing it up. The marines are not as strong pretty much, so Vikings could be actually just going onto and landing to disrupt the attention of the siege tanks. Liberators is coming in. Yep, it's liberation zone upgrade, so that increases the range for the liberators and their liberation zones. Reevou finally is making some medivacs. There's like 4 of them flying over the map, but he has actually 5 bases. His worker count is doubling Checo's right now, so in the long term, if there is at least equal production or better production, it could be painful. Sorry for that. There is Liberator and actually Medivac, and they are jumping the production. They are trying to catch out the reinforcements. The Vikings have been recalled, and they might get landed, yep, to be in range of siege tank, and this force is once again trying to push the front with marines and maybe even siege tanks. This gets cancelled. Here comes the medivacs, and the Vikings are immediately shutting them down, which is really cool. And there's a lot of siege tanks over here, but now there is a couple of medivacs. There is a army force number 2 for Reevou. He's moving, which is cool. And these guys are playing, yeah, that's medivac energy, kind of unending energy upgrade. There is the 5th base being built on site here. There's actually, it called out some siege tanks, but there are a couple more joining in from below. You know, those siege tanks are healthier here for Checo, for sure, but the upgrade advantage right now for the vehicle weapons actually is in Reevou's side. He's building 6th base on site, and he's just beelining his units over the map to join in the main party. He has finished +3/+3. He started +2 air weapons, and he picks up the side. He will try to jump the main base or the natural from this position once again. He will stop once he finds out that there is a couple of siege tanks. No, he does not. He decides to jump in, but there is a marines, there is a siege tanks from all sides going on. This liberator is going to try to work on these siege tanks, and there is double liberators here, so those siege tanks might actually go down terribly to this force. And now there is a couple of siege tanks. Siege, there's liberators, having liberations. GG's called, and Reevou takes his game. He moves on to the round 2 on losers bracket, I believe against Pretty Fly, and yeah, the Checo unfortunately is out of the tournament.